Hey, free mind, you crazy for this. Soulful. It's like our responsibility to make us feel something. You know, to make people feel what we feeling. Hey, yo.
Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show, a show that we do on Sunday nights to get the week started off on the right foot. And as part of this show, what I do is I give you a rundown of some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. And then we also talk about some news and current events, things that are on my mind and might also be on your mind as well. Confession time. I still have not read Isolation yet. I literally have not sat down to read the actual comic since it arrived. That is how busy and chaotic things have been, but that's also I needed some mental space, and I have created a little bit of that space for myself. I feel better. I feel better than I felt on Wednesday. Fingers crossed that I will feel even better over the next few days, recovering from San Diego Comic-Con and just the chaos of activity, the chaos of doing a bunch of stuff to go away and then scrambling to get things back in order upon your return. And I'm feeling a little bit better. Fingers crossed that things continue down that path. If you have read Isolation, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section in the live stream. I want to hear your thoughts if you've read Isolation, and if you are a member of the Giving Gang, if you have picked up and own a copy of Amazing Spider-Man 110, the first appearance of the Given, I want to hear from you. We are not talking about the JV. We are not talking about think you're Giving Gang because of marriage or some other stuff. We are talking about, do you own a copy of ASM 110 personally? That has been the topic of debate over the last 24 hours or so. Shout out to Master Blaster and Madam Blaster for kicking us off in just this wonderful conversation that has sparked a ton of people sharing their copies of Amazing Spider-Man 110 on the Instagram machine. If you guys are not on Instagram, you are definitely missing out. I encourage you to sign up for Instagram. That way you can be part of all the crazy stuff that happens on IG. Who was that? It says today, Wild Boar. Here's the thing, brother. They have ASM 110 up there in Canada. If you want to be down with the Giving Gang, I encourage you to snag a copy of it. I'll be honest, I have a ton of copies, and little by little, those copies are going away from me. Little by little, they are going away from me because of Master Blaster cutting Madam Blaster incredibly deep, like cutting her, as we say, to the white meat. Cut her to the white meat. I decided to A-OK her a copy of ASM 110 so that she could be part of the Giving Gang. She thought that she was honorary. We don't give out honorary memberships. We don't let people skate around here. You have to earn. You have to earn it. With that said, I am going to let me give you guys a rundown of some of the content that's coming out from the channel this week. We're going to release 2 podcasts this week. I did not release a podcast last week because I took a week off from the Wednesday show, the Comics Today show. But this week, we're going to kind of sort of catch things up. And my brother is going to release 2 podcasts. One of them is going to come out on Monday at 10 a.m. like normal. And then he's going to freestyle the second one. There will be a second one that will come out at some point this week. Shout out to my brother for making magic happen. It's nice to have some backup. My parents helped bag and board Isolation during the live stream. They did a few hundred copies, and then my brother also helps out the podcast. I am appreciative for those folks. Content for this week. Do comics make you happy? I've been on a little bit of a philosophical thing as I've been trying to mentally and emotionally recover from San Diego Comic-Con. So we're releasing a video in which we talk about whether comics can be a source of happiness and whether they are a source of happiness for you. Again, a philosophical kind of video, relatively short video. I hope you guys will dig it in some way, shape, or form. Because I've been sending out so many orders of Isolation, I decided to do a video on bulk shipping. And if you guys remember, I used to do a ton of how-to videos on how to do this, how to do that, how to clean, how to press, how to ship, how to submit, how to do this. I've gotten away from that. And so I'm returning to my roots by doing a video on how to bulk ship comics safely. So if you happen to be selling a ton of bulk comics, like a run to some, selling a run or something like that, or you're sending in just a ton of books to CGC, the methodology that I'll show you in this video, I think is going to be extremely helpful for bulk sales and just bulk shipping in general. This is a methodology that I started using a couple of years ago. I think that it's pretty much perfect at this point. No, there's always room for improvement, but that's a video that's going to come out this week. And then one of the other epiphanies that I kind of had a while ago, and I'm just now getting around to it, is I've done a video on how to go about hiring a third-party presser. So a while ago, I did a video on why I choose to use CGC/CCS for pressing my comics. And I have a rationale behind it. But when I released that video, there were a lot of people that were asking the question as to why, right? And so, and what happens if they don't want to go that route? Well, I've created a video in which I explain how people should go about hiring a third-party presser if they decide that they want to do something else. And one of the things that's important for people to remember is that when I create videos, I'm creating the video to share my perspective, my point of view, my rationale. But it's not to say that this is what you should do. People always have the latitude to do what's in their best interest. Your money, your collection. Never substitute my judgment for your own. But in this video, I'm going to offer up a couple of things for you to think about, a couple of things to consider. If you are going to hire a third-party presser, these are some of the things that you might want to have answers to, or you might want to explore. So that's the content that's going to come out from the channel over the course of this week. And fingers crossed, we will be able to do the Wednesday show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let me go to the chat real quick. Yeah, man. So here, Rush. So here's the truth of the matter is, brother, there are only so many hours in the day, right? And so pressing dozens and dozens of books per CG submission or CBCS submission does not fit into all of the other responsibilities that I have. So, at various points, I think that everyone goes through these ebbs and flows with their time and time management. And sometimes certain things have to be jettisoned because you have other commitments that you have to address. And so it is really tough for me to take the time to press books when I'm trying to, edit comics and publish comics and market comics and maintain a job and a family and all this other stuff that's going on in life. So you have to sometimes ebb and flow on certain things. So again, I see a couple of people in here talking about Isolation. I've been wanting to get a press, but haven't wanted to spend hundreds. Hey, brother, I get it, Frog Brawler. It is expensive, man. But look at it this way, brother. If you are submitting books in to be graded, and you are pressing those books with a third-party presser or having CBCS or somebody else do it, you can recover that $100 relatively quickly by choosing to press books yourself. I actually met a gentleman at San Diego Comic-Con that, based upon my videos that I put out, he has pressed more than 500 comics himself. And there is a certain amount of reward, if you will, that comes from pressing your own comics and being able to bring those comics back to life, and again, going back to Rush's question, if I had the time, if I had the space, I do it. But several of you Patreon members have actually come here into the comic book room. I don't have a ton of space to be able to do stuff. Like, most of my room is taken up in this area where the studio sits, and then there's a healthy portion that is dedicated to packing up comics, sorting comics, organizing comics, and then there's a work area, like a legit pay the bills work area that has to remain comic free. Scrolling through, Mark, there you go. What is that? There you go, man. And if I had somebody to delegate to, brother, rest assured, I would delegate to somebody else. Scrolling through, Regie and Doug need to hit C2E2. That is not going to happen. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is not going to happen. What's crazy, brother, is that the whole family gathered here in the room. The whole family gathered here in the room about a month ago. and we pressed some t-shirts. There were some t-shirts that my wife needed for Vacation Bible School for the kids, and she knew that I had a press. So she came up here, we pulled out the Teflon sheets, and we as a family pressed a couple of t-shirts for the kids to be able to go. So just some cool stuff, man. Just some cool stuff. We repurposed it. Scrolling through. We are going to be at, maybe we might, there is a slim possibility that we're going to be at New York Comic Con. I will tell you, attending cons is extremely expensive. It is extremely expensive, and when you have to pay for yourself, you have to make some serious judgment calls as to where you go. So we are not going to go to C2E2, but we are going to attempt to go to New York Comic Con. So yeah, I will tie that to another comment a little bit later. Scrolling through, Steve White's found a guy locally. That's what's up. Again, Steve, I will tell you, I know your guy is doing a good job, but potentially in the video that I'm going to release, there will be a few things that maybe you will be able to leverage as well, because I try to put a little something in there for everybody. Doug Dave Walker. Brother, we need to sleep. We need to pay bills. We have work commitments. Like, we got a lot of stuff going on, man. I'll tell you right there. My time management is horrible. Can you do a video on that? You know, my quick and handy rule, man, is to figure out what's truly important to you. Figure out what's truly important to you and focus on that. If it's not important, it does not get time. And when you are doing an activity, dedicate your attention to that activity. Do not deviate. Do not try to multitask or any of that other stuff. Stay fixed on that time or that task. And when the time is over, move on to the next one. That's basically how I do it. You know what I'm saying? I will have myopic focus. So rest assured that if you sent me a message in the last week or so, you did not get a ton of my attention. And I say that simply because I had a fixed amount of time to respond to messages, and I did not do a great job of that just because I needed to get to the other stuff. So I looked at a couple of messages. I gave you a thumbs up, give you a heart. I got to move on to some other stuff because there's a lot of stuff that has come my way, and you got to shift it around. You got to shift it around. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Isolation review. It answers, Trev says, Isolation 1 review. It answers some question, but leaves you wanting more. Great opening issue. I'll tell you, brother, I sat here and I read the first issue, not in the actual comic book form. I read the very first issue just off of my printer. I printed the pages off. I bound it myself with a stapler, and I sat here and read it. And I sent Doug a message, and I was like, I cannot wait for issue 2. This was long before we even went to press. So Trev, I know exactly what you're talking about. And what we call that good writing, and we call that stay tuned for issue 2, Trev. That's what we call it. Scrolling through, there you go. Hey, Kingpin, I got it, brother. I respect it. I see Anders and Tina talking about the Discord server. If you guys are not on the Discord server, I definitely encourage you guys to head over there and check it out. There's some good stuff that goes down. Speaking of pressing, if you want to learn how to press, if you want tips on pressing, if you want to maybe find a presser, we have a room on the Discord server that is dedicated to cleaning and pressing comics. You may want to check that out. Scrolling through some of the comments here. I'm way behind. Bronze Page. Hey, Reggie, do you have a top 5 favorite superhero shows lately? I'm not. Are you talking about TV shows? Maybe you're talking about TV shows. And the answer is, yeah, whatever's on the TV, that's what I'm watching. I think that's directed at me. It's 2G, so I'm not sure if the other Regie is actually in here. Not joking about that. There is another Regie with 2Gs. So one thing that I want to acknowledge, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist in any way, shape, or form, so I'm not taking it anywhere close to there. But there have been a lot of celebrity deaths as of late. A lot of them. It seems like today, all of a sudden, it was one after the other alerts that I kept seeing pop on my phone of celebrities that have passed away. Pat Carroll, the voice of Ursula from The Little Mermaid, has passed away. Mary Alice, a phenomenal actress that was in the Different World TV show with Felicia Rashad. Great actress has passed away. Tony S, the guy from The Sopranos, has passed away. Bill Russell, legendary basketball player, has passed away. And Nichelle Nichols has also passed away as well. Those are just some. Those are just some of the people that have passed away. And I mean, mind you, a lot of these people were old, right? I mean, Nichelle Nichols was 89 years of age. Phenomenal presence on Star Trek. I used to watch this show. You guys know that I'm a huge Star Trek fan, so I've watched a lot of these shows. There were some interesting things about her that I did not know. I did not know that she had one of the early, if not one of the first interracial kisses on TV. I did not recognize that. She kissed Captain Kirk. She kissed Captain Kirk, and I guess they broke some stereotypes, man. Let me see. I'm scrolling through some of this real quick. It said the first kissing changed television forever. It also changed the way people look at one another. Again, did not know that she had one of these early, if not one of the first interracial kisses on TV when she kissed William Shatner, aka the Big Pimp, aka Captain Kirk. But I also did not know that she dedicated her life post Star Trek to actually, recruiting people into NASA. I found that extremely fascinating. No clue about that. I regret not walking up to her when I saw her at WonderCon a couple of years ago. I was there at WonderCon. She was there. This wonderful head of just white hair. I mean, just massive. You cannot miss her with all that white hair. And I was running off to do something else. But as soon as I saw her, I knew exactly who she was. But she has passed away, I do believe, at the age of 89. There are some maybe less than flattering things that are online right now that are going on. It appears that there was potentially a similar type of thing that was happening with Stan Lee late in his life that may have been going on with her. There's rumors of some elder abuse and some other stuff, just horrible stuff. I didn't dig into it. Some of that stuff just makes my heart hurt, and so I choose not to dwell on some of that stuff. But a legendary actress, some additional actors and basketball players, voice actors have all passed away as of late. So I wanted to take a moment to at least acknowledge their passing. So there you go. She was indeed, man. Fresh, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. I'm looking at some of the comments here. Herman and Lily Munster were the first husband and wife to I did not know that, Turbo Man. Turbo. Wait a minute, Todd, did you change your name again? Did you change your name? I did not know that. I remember back in the day seeing husbands and wives sleeping in separate beds or in separate rooms. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Scrolling through. All right, I think I'm all caught on that. Yeah, lots of loss in the entertainment world, no doubt about it, man. Just really crazy stuff. Bill Russell, I think he was 88, 89, something like that. I mean, just a phenomenal basketball player. So she was awesome. And Deadpool says Jeff, it's good to see you, brother. Hope all is well with you. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. For those that had not seen it, I think it was Squirrel Madness was the very first one. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw that he had posted up that comment, and that prompted me to actually go take a look at it. I'll tell you, I did spend a healthy amount of time watching the Netflix today. I've been trying to catch up on Lost in Space, the reboot, I guess. I used to watch the other one back in the day, and I think they have season 3 out of Lost in Space, and I was started to watch season 3. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what happened in season 2 or season 1. So I went back and I'm kind of watching it from the beginning, working my way up to season 3. I like to binge watch, people. I'm going to be completely honest with you. All right. So I think I'm all caught up on the chat. One shot. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Don't forget the pit smash. Ooh. I may do a reel tonight. I have some pit books, some of which were in AOK, that are sitting off behind the wall here that I may get. We'll see whether I throw that up. The OG Lost in Space was awesome. I agree. There's a lot of really great old TV shows. If you guys haven't seen like Space 1999, Bell Bottoms, man, just wonderful stuff. MASH, again, a Star Trek, a lot of that old stuff I love. No, I have not seen that yet. I saw that it pop up on the TV, and I want to say that the early reviews of Paper Girls has been amazing. The early reviews, I do believe, have been all really positive, and I have not yet taken a look at it, but maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll take a break from Lost in Space and we'll actually check it out. You'll have to stay tuned. You'll have to stay tuned, Fresh. If you are not following me on Instagram, I definitely want to encourage you to follow me because there's some good stuff that comes up there on the Instagram. And yes, Paper Girls is out now. All right. One other thing that I wanted to make mention of to you guys real quick is that I am very excited about this show. Technically, I guess it's a movie. And the Prey the movie is coming out, and I think it drops August 5th. And so I am definitely excited about that. There was this article here that was on screenrant.com where the director of Prey opens up around the fact that, you know, the movie is dropping on Hulu and not on theaters. I do believe that this is the 5th installment of the Predator franchise, and the only one to actually not open up in the movies. And so I think a lot of people are very upset about that for whatever reason. But the director behind Prey reveals why the film is skipping theaters in favor of Hulu. Prey is the 5th film in the Predator franchise, looking to take the franchise in a new direction by focusing on a prequel that is set in 1719 and focusing on a young warrior who must battle the Predator. The movie is directed by 10 Cloverfield Lane director Dan Tetchenberg, I don't know, and will arrive on Hulu on August 5th. The anticipation for Prey has built up over several weeks, starting with the first teaser. No lie, first teaser was incredible and has only grown with each piece of additional information revealed about the movie. It premiered at San Diego Comic-Con. Completely missed it. I did, however, see, I think his name is Godly. I think Godly, guy associated with Shortbox, he went to the Prey after party. And I think before he was at the after party, I think he might have been at the premiere. I saw some stuff on Instagram that led me to believe that he may have already seen the movie. I think I saw a photo of him with the actual actress who is pictured right here. Shout out to him, but I didn't know anything about this premiere, but I do believe, again, it says that it happened here at San Diego Comic-Con. I think I know which day just based upon the social media posts and all that kind of stuff. But the early reviews have been positive, hinting at a bold, exciting new direction for the Predator franchise. Again, many have voiced their disappointment that the film was not given the theatrical release like previous installments and going straight to the streaming platform. And I think the gist of the article here is that they are releasing it to Hulu in an attempt to boost their views. Shocker that they are going that route. Hulu is not great. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a huge fan of Hulu. We actually canceled our Hulu membership because you can't have them all. You can't have cable and Amazon and Netflix and Apple TV and this and that. You got to cut bait, and we decided to cut bait with Hulu. But I think that that's why they're going that route, is to get people interested in Hulu all over again. So this movie drops on August 5th, and I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out. So let me go to the chat real quick. Did I see is Madam Blaster in here? Blu-ray season 3 is coming out for all of you. Let me see. I'm scrolling through some of the comments here. There she is. The newest member to the Gibbon Gang, Madam Blaster. Technically, you won't be an official member until you actually get the book in hand, but it's been A-OK to you. So, we'll call you auxiliary. You'll be auxiliary membership. What do they call it? Trial membership for the next couple of days. But shout out to Madam Blaster and Master Blaster. Let me see. I'm scrolling through some of the comments here. Only other thing I like on Hulu is What We Do in the Shadows. I do not know that I've ever seen that. Probably because I gave up my Hulu membership. I think it's been about 8 months or so. I think we've given it up about 8 months ago. I will tell you, there is more than enough stuff to watch on Netflix. Netflix is just incredible. Even though they've lost a lot of shows or cut back on a lot of shows because of all the people that have either abandoned ship or they forced off the platform, they still just have some great content. Scroll. Oh, that's it. Oh, well done. Well done. You have to confirm your identity. You have to renew your membership to the Giving Gang by posting up a photo of yourself. Well done, Steve White. You gotta have fun with this stuff. Chris Bigger's in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Scrolling through. Welcome to the Giving Gang Club, madam. That is from Turbo Man Todd. It's good to see you, brother. Scrolling through. I'm actually joining the club. I'm joining the club here locally, and I will have, I guess, like a paper membership for like 6 months. It's like tentative. It's a trial membership. You can be kicked out at any time. I'm going to orientation here. Hopefully, I think it's in like the next 2 weeks or something like that. But fingers crossed that they accept me, much like we have accepted Madam Blaster into our rank and file. Much like that, I am hoping. Oh, you know what? That was not bad. Into the Oblivion, Gray Man was not bad. It was a little chaotic. I would encourage you maybe not to watch it late at night. But the Gray Man was not bad at all. I was intrigued, and I would love to see. Can I get a part 2? Can I get a follow-up on that one? It was not bad. It was not bad at all. Again, I've been trying to rest and recover by zoning out and just watching some TV. That actually helps me. What is that? You can have all those streaming services if your kids pay for it. It's just good parenting. Oh, Mark, you're hilarious. Scrolling through some of the comments here. I'm scrolling. All right, I think I'm all caught up. All right, so for those folks that came in a little late, we spent some time paying our respects to the many actors, many fine actors and actresses that have passed, and also athletes that have passed as of late. Pat Carroll, the voice of Ursula from The Little Mermaid, Mary Alice from A Different World, Tony S. from The Sopranos, Bill Russell, and also Nichelle Nichols from Star Trek are just some of the folks that have passed away over the last little bit. Scrolling through, what is that? That was at the movies? They're playing Gray Man at IMAX. I did not know that was at the movies, Jay. All right. Hey, there you go. All right, cool. So again, all caught up on that. In addition to paying our respects, we also spoke a little bit about the Prey movie that is coming out on August 5th on Hulu. This is the 5th installment of the Predator franchise that is actually dropping on Hulu instead of at the theaters. I am keeping my fingers crossed that my copy, or I think I have 2 copies of Predator issue number 1 at CGC. I'm hoping at least one of them comes back a 9.8. I just need one that comes back at a super high grade, and I will be very, very excited about that. Let me give you guys a quick update on Isolation. I do believe that all raw orders for covers A, B, and C have all been sent out. That includes if you received a Patreon cover for free, or if you purchased a Patreon book, those have all gone out. I do believe that those have all gone out. The only thing that you have not received would be the cover E, which is the premium cover. And the reason for that is a lot of the books are in New Jersey right now, and they are being mailed back to me. Once they are mailed back to me, they will then be packaged up, and I will start processing orders for people. I have another shipment of e-cover books that are going to go to New Jersey to be signed by both Doug and Delia. Once those are signed, those will make their way back to me as well, and I will continue processing orders. So you should at this point have A, B, C, and the Patreon cover. If you ordered those, you should have all of that stuff now. If you ordered an e-cover, that will be forthcoming in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And if you picked up a graded copy of Isolation, either A or B, blue label or yellow label, the turnaround time of that will be determined by CGC, and I will be trying to provide people with updates as best I can on all of this stuff. But I've received a couple of messages from people asking for clarification. I have no problem providing clarification, but rest assured that if you tune into the YouTube channel, if you look on the YouTube community page, if you look on social media, if you look on Discord, if you look on Patreon, I do believe that there are updates. Also, the website, regiecollects.com, there are updates there as to the status of things. But generally speaking, I am processing all orders in real time right now. If for some reason you didn't get something you ordered, send me a message, but be certain to include your confirmation number. That will help me. If I have your confirmation email and or number, that will give me a lot of information that I need. Liger is on the board right there. He's saying, hey, I enjoyed Isolation. Great work, guys and gals. Thank you, brother. We definitely appreciate that. Definitely a labor of love. And it's nice to have it out there for people. How do I put in an order for issue 2? At the moment, you cannot, sir. At the moment, you cannot put in an order. What I will tell you is that there is a link in the description of this video for a Kickstarter. I have been inspired. I have seen the light that has been shone upon me, cast upon me by the folks over at Boom Studios. I was inspired by what Boom did for Berserker, and I was inspired by Eric July and what he did to raise money. I have no aspirations. Well, no, let me restate. I have no belief that I'm going to raise any kind of money of that respect. But what I do want to do is I want to try to, as best we can, raise some funds to print Isolation. And I think it was Trev raised, and I respect him tremendously for this. Trev raised some wonderful points on the community page of the YouTube channel about Kickstarter and some bad experiences that he has had. And I anticipated somebody verbalizing it, and I thought through it. And I think that the Kickstarter that we are going to put up there is one that has a lot less risk than other Kickstarters. And I say that for a few reasons. One, I have a track record of getting stuff done. Two, I go live twice a week. I cannot hide from you. So if something goes wrong, you know where to find me. Three, by the time we collect any money from anybody, issue 2 will already have been drawn and painted and will be ready for the printer. We are essentially raising money to print Isolation because print costs are ridiculous. Print costs are ridiculous. Our print costs were $4,000 more than what we anticipated them being, and they were already high. So that's my appeal. That's my appeal. If you enjoy issue number 1 of Isolation, I want to encourage you to follow the Kickstarter campaign to learn more about issue number 2. And so not all books will be offered through the Kickstarter. We're going to do this to raise some money to pay for the printing, and then we're still going to offer up Isolation on the website. So if you want to help us raise some cash to print the book, follow the Kickstarter campaign. And if you just want to wait for the book to come out, no problem there. Stay tuned to regiecollects.com and the channel for some additional details. I think that was clear. I think that was clear. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. He's like, let's get it done. Hey, man, you and me both, brother. I will tell you, when I was in San Diego, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. The team has a lot of debates and discussions about the things that we should do. We debated, Kickstarter. We debate a lot of stuff, and there is no chance. There is no chance of a digital copy in any way, shape, or form. It's not going to happen. All right, man, that would be amazing. Brother, did you find it? Because it appeared that you were sweating bullets earlier today in the photo that was posted up on social media where you were unable to find your copy of ASM 110. It would be a shame. It would be a shame, brother, for your wife to now be a member of the Giving Gang and for you not to be. Won't be a good look. Won't be a good look for you, brother. If my AOK of ASM 110 shows up at your house and she has one and you don't, it will not be a good look, sir. I encourage you to rectify this situation because she will collect your card. Okay. I'm gonna just say it now. She's gonna collect it. Yeah, we're so what we're doing, Mark, it's a great clarifying question. Steve Reggie printing. Yeah, so good couple of questions here from folks. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed, right? We are still publishing the book, still printing the book. What I am looking to do is to raise some funds to offset the print costs, because if you've picked up a copy of Isolation, you know that we did not use cheap paper. Not in any way, shape, or form. The paper quality is fantastic. There's a UV coating on this thing that gives the paper an amazing feel. The artwork is incredible, but it is also not a cheap book to produce. We didn't do the whole Marvel thing with the tissue paper, right? This is legit paper. This is a legit comic. We spent good money, and as a result of that, printing costs were incredibly high. So what we're looking to do is to raise some funds in order to pay for the printing. I am still paying for all the artists to do all of the artwork. All of that will be done before the Kickstarter wraps up and any money is actually collected. I want to collect that money then to pay for the printing. We are still going to work with all the comic shops. There are 9 comic shops across North America that are currently carrying issue number 1. And my hope is that every single one of those comic shops will carry issue number 2, and maybe we can add some additional ones. So no change there. But again, it will be dependent upon the LCSs to determine whether they want to carry it. So if you have not been to regiecollects.com, I encourage you to head over there. There is a page, an isolation page that will identify all of the LCSs that are currently carrying Isolation issue number 1. I'm going to be working with all of them on issue number 2. Our focus right now is getting issue 2 done. That is our focus. That is our goal. All the covers, all the interior pages, getting them done and ready to rock. That's the focus so that we can get issue 2 out to you guys in a timely manner. So hopefully, man, that clarifies things, and where was a comment here and it went away. I lost it. High quality. At the end of the day, man, it was important that the quality of the book itself matched the quality of the writing and the quality of the artwork. One of the things that I want people to know is that anytime you support something that I do, it's going to be good. That's my hope, right? You get a package from me. Hopefully that package is packaged well. Hopefully everything goes well. From the moment that you touch the book, I want you to have a certain feeling, right? Did we get everything right with this book? No, we did not. But it's still a really awesome book that I need to take some time to read, because I still literally have not read this thing. So I need to do that. But issue number 2, fingers crossed, will be coming out soon. One other thing. And again, there's a link to the Kickstarter. Hasn't kicked off yet, but I definitely encourage you guys to follow the Kickstarter so that you guys don't miss out on that, because it won't be, there's not a ton of slots. Well, let me not say that. One other thing I wanted to talk about is the box office. There are some box office numbers that have been released for DC League of Super Pets. It debuts in first place with a soft 23 million. Here's the thing. If I get 23 million, there's nothing soft about that. All right. That's just hard, just straight hard. But this is an article that appeared on Variety. It basically highlights the fact that DC League of Super Pets is underperforming by and large. And it says, an animated adventure about 4-legged friends of legendary superheroes opened in first place at the domestic box office with a $23 million take from around 4,300 theaters. And it says, though Warner Brothers movie sold enough tickets to dethrone Jordan Peele's Nope, it's a mediocre start, giving the film's $90 million price tag. But how much of that was The Rock? How much of that was the stars that acted as the voices for this thing? Let me see. I'm scrolling down. DC League of Super Pets did not make up much ground at the international box office, where it launched to 18.4 million from 63 markets. In total, the film has grossed $41.4 million globally. And again, it has a $90 million price tag. I am not certain if that includes marketing. There's a possibility that it does not include marketing, which means that this is not a good look. It means that it's not a good look if it costs 90 million plus marketing, and the movie has only brought in $41.4 million globally. It says, in pandemic times, DC League of Super Pets is yet another kid-friendly film that has struggled to wow in its box office debut. Movies aimed at parents with young kids have been a mixed bag, which is concerning because family audiences were always a reliable source of revenue before the COVID pandemic. And this article actually goes on to talk about where this movie fell, according to some other things here. You can see that Pixar's Lightyear debuted at $51 million, and Universal's Minions: The Rise of Gru opened to a strong $107 million. I can tell you that they got a couple of my bucks. My family went to go see the movie, and they enjoyed that one. But yeah, so yeah, I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you guys. The movie is out there. It seems to be underperforming, but also one of the things that I wanted to mention here is that I do believe that they are actually handing out comics. They are handing out DC comics to moviegoers, and that's something that we've spoken about here on the channel before. The importance of potentially tying the movies back to the source material. It appears that DC and others, because I don't think that this is the first time that we've seen it over the last couple of years, but DC appears to be tying the movies back to some type of source material. Somebody posted up on Instagram that they had collected maybe 5 of these comics or something like that. So just some interesting stuff that I wanted to kind of throw out there for you guys to know about. All right, scrolling through, I am way behind on the comments here. Let me see. I'm scrolling through. Oh my goodness. The blasters are fighting in public. I don't know what's going on with the blasters. I feel like these articles are getting ready to say superhero films are losing money, ignoring the fact that they haven't returned. Yeah, you know what? Philtastic, I think that there is a strong possibility that some folks in the community will also make a similar argument. You know, the people have been saying probably for the last 4 years that there is a superhero fatigue. A lot of people have been saying that. And I don't know that there's any evidence of that. Yeah, there have been some movies that have come out that have not performed well, probably because they weren't very good movies. Like, never, let me not name names because that will also start some stuff. But yeah, I think that that type of article that I just shared around the pets will lead some people to continue making the claim that superhero movies are not performing well, that there's superhero fatigue. And I think it's one of those things that people will continue to beat that drum until they are proven right. And they want to be right. So they just keep repeating it year after year until something happens where they can say, I told you so, right? There is a lot of that's going on. You know, Gru was just a better movie. According to my kids, they wanted to see Gru because they love the Minions, and they have loved the Minions for years. So there you go. All right, let me see. Scrolling through some of the comments here. No, sir. No, sir. I will not. I don't get involved in people's stuff. Let me tell you, even if I know stuff, I keep my mouth closed. It is not my place to get involved in any of that stuff, but I will maybe instigate from the sideline like I did earlier. There you go. Maybe it's, hey, pretty fly. There you go. You hit the nail on the head. You put out a bad comic, guess what? People aren't going to read it. You put out a bad movie, guess what? People are not going to see it. But you do the opposite. You put out a good comic, man, people will talk about that comic like nobody's business. I'm going to tell you right now, you put out good stuff, people will support it. You do the opposite and it just gets bad. So no comment, but good job, Chris Bigger. What does it say? I looked at the top grossing films on Box Office Mojo. Superhero form. Doug, see, that's the problem. That's the problem, Doug. You bring all these facts to the table. People don't like the facts. They just want to stick with the narrative. They want to stick with the narrative that they have arrived at in the absence of information, sitting on the sofa. They're like, I got it. Superhero fatigue. Despite all the facts, I think the last time I checked, the MCU by itself had generated like $22.4 billion, like a ridiculous amount of money. But despite that, that's no superhero fatigue. People don't want to see superhero movies. They don't want to see it. That's what they say. Don't be bringing up all those facts up in here, man. Scrolling through the comments here. The problem is DC, or more likely Warner Brothers, said Omega. You could be right. I saw something online. There was a big, I think it may have had something to do with Rob Liefeld. I think Rob Liefeld made a couple of comments about the fact that Jim Lee had no involvement in the DC movies or something like that, which kind of sort of makes sense because he's in charge of comics and not in charge of movies. So therefore it doesn't, people will say what they want to say. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Oh my goodness. Young Matthew, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. I was thinking about you the other day. Young Matthew is in the house. It is good to see you, brother. Scrolling through some of the comments here. I'm not sure about this, so I'd like to ask the room. I didn't leave any fingerprints on Isolation. I leave fingerprints on every other comic. Did anybody notice this? It's because it's good quality, Mark. There is a UV coating that has been applied to the comic, and that's probably why Cheetos do not stick to it. We spent good money on this, man. I'll tell you, good money was spent on this comic. And so the fact that you are not seeing fingerprints on the comic, I think is a wonderful thing that speaks to the quality of the material that was used in the construction of this comic. So I think that's a really good thing. Scrolling through some of the comments here, Frog Brawler's throwing out whether Shang-Chi was the best face for a movie. Scrolling through the comments, there's so many here. Turbo Todd says, I've been craving superhero movies since the 70s. Todd, that was because we knew that was Lou Ferrigno with green body paint. That's why we were craving better movies, brother. Let's be completely honest. It wasn't good, but I still watched it just like you. No doubt about it. Feet Liefeld, you demand, don't you get them started up in here. Don't you get them started. Let me see. I'm scrolling through some. I don't want the ire. I do not want the ire. Xavier, how you doing, brother? All right, so we are going to wrap this thing up, man. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. As I mentioned, we are going to be kicking off a Kickstarter campaign here for Isolation issue number 2. I am very excited for you all to get issue number 2. I saw some completed pages of it just the other day, and they are fantastic. They really are fantastic. Doug, Delia, and the rest of the creative team are doing a fantastic job of pulling this issue together. Fingers crossed that we will be able to make magic happen by the end of the year. And I am purposefully keeping that vague. I am not giving you guys any more detail. Rest assured that we do have a target date in mind. We're not going to make you guys wait forever to get it done. But I don't want to pigeonhole myself the same way that I told you Isolation would be out in July. And sure enough, it was out in July. So as we get closer, I will continue to provide you guys with updates. And again, if you made an order for Isolation covers A, B, C, or the Patreon only cover, you should have received those comics by now, or they should be in the mail en route to you. If you have not received a tracking number for whatever reason, send me an email. I need your confirmation. Send it to Regie@regiecollects.com. If you are in another country and you received a tracking number, you may want to check your email because I may have sent you an email asking for some additional funds to cover your shipping. And so if you guys can reply to that, I would absolutely appreciate it. We extended shipping to several places in the UK, Australia, India, and where else did we go? That might be it. Of course, Canada. Of course, the Canadians, we have you guys covered. But again, check your inboxes, your spam filters if you are in another country, because I may have covered your shipping and I would like to get those funds back. All right, with that said, some really awesome content that's going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. We're going to be releasing two podcasts. Two podcasts are coming out this week. We're also going to spend some time talking about how you should go about hiring a third-party presser if you decide to go that route, how to ship comics in bulk, and also whether comics can be a true source of happiness. couple of cool videos coming out. I hope that you guys will enjoy them over the course of this week. And if you need to reach out to me for whatever reason, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.
My body ate itself until it found its passion. They got fat while we starved, but it's power in fasting. Until I turned to ashes, I remained stoic through my rap heroics. I painted 10,000 poems, then I drank the potion of poetry in motion. I started choking, it was potent. My throat chakra downloaded, knowledge hungry. I was embarrassed I could ask my parents for money when I had a full tummy. So I asked for wisdom, better than crypto, sweeter than honey. I don't take it for granted, I don't wear capes and masks.